Excuse me, I'm not taking a shower. I'm still doing things. I'm going to tell you my story and how the justice system has failed me and how I became to really research and make this a passion of mine with privately run facilities. Um, then it ties in with rehabs and probation and bonds and all that kind of stuff too as well. But so this last go around, hold on, pause this real quick because I'm going to show you my mugshot. Excuse me, I'm just gonna give me a second. I had to plug my iPad in, and I had to plug my phone charger back into my phone because my phone's dying. But I'm gonna show you. This is why it ties into this. I think if I haven't already showed you it, because maybe I haven't, I just don't remember. Bam. Okay. So, for all of you that don't know, April 18, 2016 is the last day I ever put a drug or a needle in my body. This is about 3 weeks after having 6 years of sobriety. Okay? Crazy. Look a lot different. And, you know, they say I can't get rid of that because Google has that, so it's going to be there forever. But the reason I show you that is because out of all of my mugshots, Google could have they picked the absolute worst one. The one where I look like I'm on death's doorstep. Okay, so that was my misdemeanor DUI, which is what I did 20 days in jail on a $100 bond did, which is what forced me to get sober. So I will say this before I get into the story. This to go around, jail did save my life. How I was treated is a different story. So April 18th, 2016, I had been up for 6 days, speedballing, and I should never have been behind the wheel of a car. I thank God every day that I did not kill somebody or myself, because I woke up in jail and had no idea how I got there or what I had done. I had already been on like 3 felony bonds already, so I pretty much knew that, like, I was shocked they even gave me a bond for my DUI, but they did, and nobody would bail me out. My own parents wouldn't bail me out. Something that my mom said to me, stays with me to this day. I was so pissed she wouldn't bail me out. I was like, no, Mom, like, bail me out. She's like, no, Mom. She's like, for once in my life, I can sleep at night knowing where the fuck you are at. It pains me to hear her say that or have a parent have to say that because I don't have children, so I can't. But, like, the fact that your mom can say, I can sleep better at night knowing where the fuck you're at, really, really makes you feel some type of way about it. I knew when I went into jail that I was not going to get no Suboxone, Subutex, nothing. But as prior jail stays, I had learned to take my mental health medication with me. Always had it in my car. Every time I've been to jail, I've always taken it with me. I've been on Seroquel for 15 plus years of my life for bipolar, non-narcotic. So when I went to jail, I came in with my medications. And I hadn't been taking them like I should, but I always knew that, like, hey, if I have them with me, I always knew I had to take my mental health medication, but that's why I self-medicated on drugs for so long. And you hear people, and if you've been to jail or prison, you see people beating their heads against the wall, and, like, a lot of mental help. Like, there's no mental health help in prison, which is what really pisses me off. That there's absolutely no mental health. No sort of evaluations, mental health professionals. I mean, I've had the jail psychiatrist tell me that I didn't have bipolar when I've been diagnosed with this shit my entire life. Okay, or I don't have ADD. You're tripping if you don't think I have ADD because I'm, like, the worst poster child for ADD. Poster child for it. So gradually, I knew when I woke up in the drunk tank, I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna withdraw, and they're not gonna give me nothing. And it was the worst fucking experience of my life. Now, I asked the sergeant, hey, can I please have my mental health medication? I said, because I've been up and I've been strung out on drugs for quite some time, and I've been up for 6 days. I said, I'm about to have a manic episode, and I would really please just give me my medication, because I knew it was coming. I knew I was gonna have a mental manic episode. I knew it. I felt it on top of withdrawing. They flat out refused me. They refused me to give me my medication. They refused. Probably would have made their lives a lot easier if they did, because that's why people be beating their head against the wall or doing off the wall shit, because you're not giving them their medication that they've been on for 15 plus years of their life. I had a sergeant flat out tell me, fuck your medication, we're not giving it to you. That's what she said. Pretty much, fuck you, you're gonna have to just deal with it. One, inhumane. Two, you put me in a pod with a bunch of dudes, which I had never in my life seen any of this shit in jail. I knew they housed dudes and women in the same jail, but not in the same fucking unit with the men on the top and the women on the bottom. No, never, not once. It was called C-Pod, and it was called the detox unit. Second red flag. The lights were on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, problem. Not only do we have men and women in the same pod together, now we've got men and women writing letters and shit back to each other. And like, it was an accident waiting to happen. I'm like, oh my God, how could you put women and dudes in the same fucking pod together? Like, I mean, does that just like, I mean, it's like common sense. Like, like what the fuck? To this day, I still am baffled by it. Then, now, granted, dope withdrawal is horrible. I'm throwing up. I'm shitting. I smell like shit because I hadn't showered in 5 days prior to getting arrested. Um, this is where it really gets really inhumane and really upsetting. And this is where like I really have an issue with it, because they should never have been allowed to do this. This was unreal what they did to me. I asked if I could take a shower. I said, please, like I'm like withdrawing. Like please, this is like not okay. Like please, all I wanted to do was take a shower. All I wanted. I'm like getting teary eyed talking about it, because it's fucking painful to like relive it. The way I was treated, and the way they treat people in jail that are drug addicts. Like your rapists and stuff like that. I don't know, but like the way they've treated drug addicts or treated me, for reasons because they wanted to just be negative and an asshole. It really hurts me, and it tugs at my heart. And so I'm sorry. I apologize for trying to crying or almost crying, but they wouldn't let me shower for 10 days. So I sat in my jail clothes with puke and shit all over me for 10 days. They wouldn't even give me another jumpsuit. They just came in at 4 in the morning and took my mattress and my blanket away from me. And didn't give it back to me until 9 o'clock at night, and then just shut the door. Didn't even like, no second thoughts. Didn't come and check on me. Didn't make sure that I was okay. Didn't give me my mental health medication. Didn't even let me use the fucking phone for 5 days. I mean, I literally thought I was gonna die, and then I was like, if I die, nobody's gonna know about it. It was a very scary situation. It was very scary, and it was very, I felt really broken and alone. And like, I mean, when I say jail saved my life, that's because like I went through the worst experience I've ever been in my life, which made me never want to go back to jail. Like that's the whole reason that I never wanted to break the law again, was because I was like, I will never be put in that situation. I will never be treated like that again. And you know what? There's no documentation of it. None. I tried to plead my case to my judge for my DUI. I was treated inhumane. They didn't give me my medication. Not only did they not give me my medication, they didn't give it to me when I walked out of the jail either. I walked in with my medication and walked out without it. Oh, we lost it, sorry. That's where I'm getting at. Fuck the justice system. Y'all sit here and bitch and complain about how you want to put people away. But there's reform and like, oh, we have programs. The fuck, you have no programs that are worth a shit. You have no outlets for these people, or these people are inmates, and you treat people inhumane. You let people drink this nasty brown water, like that's the fucking, or feed them this unedible fucking food that I wouldn't even feed my cat. I wouldn't even feed a stray dog or a cat or a homeless person that shit. Ever. Their mental health crisis, like, y'all ain't doing shit about mental health. It's like, oh, fuck people, and fuck these people for getting locked up or breaking the law, when regardless, honestly, like, I technically, yeah, I broke the law, but I didn't murder anybody in the process of doing it. I didn't rob anybody. I didn't steal from anybody. I didn't rob a business. I literally sat in my car or at my house and got high by myself. So if you want to consider breaking the law, that's breaking the law, and then breaking the fucking law, it's breaking the fucking law. But intentionally, like, hurting people in the middle of it, no, I never did any of that. So it pains me to see these people getting long ass sentences, mainly drug offenses. I don't know how we can change it. I'll play some recordings and stuff that I have of me recording Lawrenceville, fucking up my phone calls and fucking up my video visits and stuff like that. And every time I have a visit with him on Sunday, and I took big videos of him shackled to a phone, with his hands shackled and his feet shackled in a belly chain in a fucking pod by himself, because everybody knows when you go to the hole, if you're even allowed out of your cell, you're out there by yourself. So like he posed no threat to nobody. Why the fuck do you have him shackled to a phone when he's just literally trying to have a video visit? It hurts me and it pains me to see like the suffering and pain in this dude's eyes, because I guess you don't really know. Like, I mean, I've been to the hole one time in jail once, and it's like you're forgotten. That's how I can explain it. I don't know, but your thoughts are on it or whatever. The people that have been to the hole, but you just feel gone. Like you're like a lost cause. Like it's like you got thrown in this dungeon and just forgotten about. Anyway, I rambled on way too long. It's like a 12-minute video. Let me know how you guys all think about it. Now I'm definitely ending this video and I'm going to get in the shower and I'm gonna come back and figure out something else to talk about. Yeah, love it, like, guys, and to anybody that might be going to jail or is thinking about using or whatever, just please, A, be safe, and B, if you can take one thing away from what I'm saying, it's not cool. It's not cool to go to prison. It's not cool to go to jail. It's not like, oh my God, I'm a tough ass, I went to jail. Like, it's not cool. You're not a cool person because you went to jail or prison. And taking it from people that have actually been in that situation, have been to prison, like, listen to them, because they got real insight of what it's like to be locked up and what it's like to be in a situation like that. Because Tom promise you, once you go to jail, man, your entire rights and shit are all gone, which obviously, but like, if I could go back, I would have never gone to jail in the first place. If I could go back to 18 years old, I would change my life. I would have never gotten into drugs at 15. I would have never done half the shit I did, knowing what I know now, and being in situations and going to jail and being with people that have been in prison. And to everybody that's made it home from prison, congratulations. And I hope and pray that y'all stay out. We all stay out of prison and jail. Like we should all just live better lives now. And say a prayer for the people that are still locked up, and people that are locked up for being innocent, and they're locked up for being innocent. Can you imagine that? Knowing that you did nothing wrong, but you're locked up. There's somebody on, I think the guy was on America's Got Talent. It was a black guy, and I don't remember his name, but like he had done like I don't know, something like 40 years for a murder that he didn't even do, and DNA came out. They gave this man did 40 some years in prison for a crime he didn't even do. 40 years. What are you going to get? You gave this man back his freedom. What are you going to compensate that for putting somebody away that was innocent for 40 plus fucking years? I mean, like flabbergasted. And and the justice system, what? Right there. I couldn't even imagine being in prison for 40 years for something I didn't do, knowing I didn't do it. Awful, 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 awful. Well, guys, love and light.